Hello, here we are to take a look at my BMW E21 320 Baur BMW. It is a 1982 X-Reg and it has got a personal number plate which I am happy to let go with the car. I think it suits it very, very well. And let's just have a quick walk around and see the general overall condition. Now, the first things to notice are it does have the lovely Alpine white BMW colour. It has been resprayed at some point before my ownership, having lived in Cyprus until 1997. I have owned it since 2008. It is the 2-litre straight 6 carburetted model. And if we take a look, we can see it has the factory fit BBS front bumper, side skirts and rear bumpers, and if I'm honest, I've never seen one with the side skirts before. We have the 4 Alpina wheels. They need a little bit of a clean. It is a used car. I do use this car, although I have had 4 new tyres fitted earlier this year, so they are the premium Yokohama Advan tyres for this car. They're 14-inch wheels. During my ownership, I have refurbished the Baur side panels, replaced the hood, which was vinyl, and done a mohair targa section to match the replacement mohair original BMW Baur part for the rear end. I did that about 6 years ago now. You can see the overall condition is pretty good for a 42-year-old car. But there are some genuine marks that I want to share. So you can see we are ready now for some work around the rear quarter. I have some bubbling on the door, but generally the condition is good, particularly the chrome work. So if we look around the chrome work, you will see that the chrome work is gleaming. I did replace the exhaust with a pattern match stainless steel item made by Tony Banks in Leeds. I was keen to keep it as original on the outside as possible, but improve it everywhere. So I have replaced the odd plastic part and fascia panel to keep it looking nice and smart. So if we see around here, the general overall condition. So you can probably see if we go down here, I don't know if it will pick up on the camera, but there's a small bubble of paint on the door, and the driver's door does catch a little bit on closing, so it could do with some effort. I've just noticed this little rubber scuff from the garage, but that should polish out. The chrome work that I would say legitimately needs dealing with, and I haven't done it myself, would be the window surround. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it functionally. I have no leaks or anything like that, but the speckled nature, it would be nice to replace that in somebody's future ownership. The fluffy dice I've had for about 10 years, and I'm welcome to sell those with the car. I've replaced the badges at various points, and I did have, when I bought the car, it had a little ding in the kidney grille, so common for some reason, and I have rolled it out to the best of my abilities with a pizza cutter, but a new item would be nice. If we now step around the car and go to the interior, it is not the original interior. It has been reupholstered in white leather. It's in pretty good condition. It could do with a bit of a clean. The car has 112,000 miles. I've done about 12,000 in my ownership, but it has the electric windows option, although that switch doesn't work, but the actual motors do work. When I was cleaning, I accidentally knocked it off, but they are easily replaced. It's the manual gearbox. It doesn't have the original gear knob. I've upgraded the stereo to be a Bluetooth Philips item with a USB port, just to make it more usable. I've never been afraid to take this on a reasonable trip. You can see the interior is black, and if we look into the back seat, They're very usable back seats, and I do have the tonneau cover for the rear hood. So I'm just going to pause the camera while I take the hood off to demonstrate that. So coming back to the car, now I have removed the hood, you will see it split into two sections. The Targa top, which are simply lifted out with these two clips, and there is a lovely place in the boot that it sits nicely. The hood itself is just two hooks that allow it to drop down, and you can see now that I have the tonneau cover in place. It looks very smart. It's very comfortable to drive on the motorway at speed actually, but often I would leave the rear section up and just take the Targa off because it provides a really good windbreak. We're just going to zoom out, and I'll just open the boot, and you can see in here that we have the Targa top. We still have some of the original BMW dealer badges. Okay, it's actually a really good sized boot. Okay, and there is a spare wheel in there, which whilst technically legal, I would say it is extremely old and I wouldn't want to use it. And the toolbox, whilst it has some of the parts, it certainly would benefit from somebody replacing those with new pieces and refurbishing it. So I think the general condition of the car is one that I've loved and lived with and maintained. But it's fair to say it's ready for that next phase of restoration. Underneath it's very good. I had it MOT'd in 2023 and there was no issues. Over the years I've had a little bit of the work done. I'm just going to open the bonnet now. A bit difficult with one hand, it's quite a heavy bonnet lifting from the front, and you can see straight away underneath it has that glorious BMW straight six engine, which sounds fantastic through the tunnels. I'll just go around the other side, but it certainly isn't original. Okay, so you can see that I've added a strut brace here just to firm this up a little bit. I've very much focused on originality from a external perspective, but upgraded wherever possible. So I've got a nice large battery on there. This car is a carburetor car. It has replacement Weber carbs, much better than the original ones, and the K&N induction filter on top. It just makes it a lot easier to live with and drive on a day-to-day basis. You literally can get in this car and start it first time, every time, okay? Other maintenance items that I have improved over the years, well, it's quite difficult to see. If we take a look at the wheels, the braking system has been upgraded behind the alloy wheels, as has all of the suspension. So it's all been improved to make it a much more solid ride. So it just feels much better damped, much easier, much more modern on the road. It is rear wheel drive and it is great fun. But you know, the suspension was quite old fashioned and the brakes were not particularly brilliant. There are drums on the rear. And I've just taken every opportunity when I've done the work to just modernise as much as possible without losing that overall character. I hope you would agree. It's a fantastic car. It gets amazing attention everywhere. It's been brilliant as a family to have the children in the back of, and I'll certainly be sorry to see it go, having owned it since 2008. So certainly the longest car that I've ever owned, and I may well regret selling it. We do have the trickle charger, actually. I've just noticed that that's there. I'm happy to provide that with the car. Please, if you have any questions at all, do give me a call or send me an email. And yes, I'm happy to show anybody around the car. Thank you.